What's up? Colby Sharp here, 5th grade teacher in Michigan. Welcome to my channel where I try to help kids fall in love with reading. And if your readers are anything like my readers, they love Alan Gratz. And if they love Alan Gratz, maybe they loved Refugee, maybe they loved Allies, maybe they loved Ground Zero. Well, guess what? Alan is back with 2 Degrees, a story that looks at 3 separate incidents in North America that are a result of climate change. We have a hurricane in Miami, Florida. We have wildfires in California, and way up in northern Manitoba, Canada, we have like the ice caps melting. They're not big enough ice for the polar bears, and it's just wild how he does this, right? Because we're with 3 different kids, actually about 4 different kids, because the polar bear has 2 main kids in that story. And you have all these stories that are like, have this thread that they're connected by, which is climate change. And you always, if you read an Alan Gratz book, you know we're like trying to figure out how these stories get connected at the end, like how they all gonna come together. Obviously not gonna spoil it. It's magical, it's amazing, it's Alan Gratz. You would expect nothing else. But I think it's a beautiful story for kids to read. I think it's an important story. I think it's a heartbreaking story. The girl, Akira, who lives in the California mountains and dealing with that wildfire, she believes in climate change and she's stressed out about climate change, but her father is it's just normal. This is all the life cycle of the earth and blah, blah, blah. And like the world is burning around them and he still can't seem to get it through to his brain. And it's just fascinating. And then there's the story in Canada is so interesting because I don't ever think about like the people who live near where polar bears live and how their lives are going to be changed if the polar bears can't find the seals that they need to eat. And that was just such an interesting story because I knew nothing about that. And then the one in Miami with the hurricane, like how like Miami has this like kind of like not quite had the big hurricane hit them, and it's like, what happens when it does? And holy smokes, I'm like getting exhausted reading this book. It's so intense, and it's just like one story to the next story to the next story to the next story. And he leaves you hanging at the end of when he switches stories. So you just have to keep reading because you want to get back to that other story, but then you're in this new story. It is just so good. It's so Alan Gratz. Check it out, Alan Gratz, 2 Degrees. You will love it. Your readers will love it. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Colby Sharp. I hope you have an awesome-tastic day.